So there's a lot of YouTubers out there ranting and raving about this car, and maybe it is better than other cars, other new cars on the market for storage space on the inside, and everyone's raving about how Honda did such a good job engineering everything about this car. I will agree it looks more premium in here, but that's kind of where the agreements stop, because when you think of practicality, it kind of gets ugly compared to what they had over 15 years ago when that generation came out in 06. I'm gonna say it right now, it has more storage room for comfort on the inside than the new car. This door pocket is much larger. You have, so we're gonna count, right? We got a storage cubby here, that's one. We have a storage cubby below it, which I keep my trailer tire pressure gauge in, that's two. Two storage areas on the left here. If you have an SI, it'll have traction control VSA buttons here, so you don't get this on the SI, but since this is an LX, you get an extra storage there, that's two. You have a sunglasses holder, that's three. Really nice spot to put your sunglasses underneath the radio and the HVAC controls. That's three. Four, you have a nice deep cubby here, which I've installed a USB, dual USB hardwired into the car to make it a little more modern. Nice deep pocket. Your phone won't fit like flat in it. It might fit sideways flat, but the new one is much shallower than that. You have your nice mechanical e-brake. And oh boy, we have another storage pocket right here to throw loose change, or if you have a smaller phone, it'll fit that. Your wallet, I always use it to throw my wallet in. So that's number 5 storage pocket. And then over here on the passenger side, they integrated a storage pocket in the door handle for them. That's 6 storage pockets. And the door pocket on this side is the same size as the driver's side. It's pretty massive. Glove box, pretty wide, pretty deep. And you'll see in a second, this glove box is deeper and wider than the new car. Why? Because the dash is massive and you have all this room underneath the dashboard to make the glove box deeper. Just the design of this car, I'll say it again, I'm gonna say it's better. It's better finished and it's more intuitive than the newer Civics. Another element I love about the 8th gens, a sliding cup holder. You don't get that in the new Civics. You just have exposed cup holders to collect dust all the time and look terrible, and you can't close it and throw stuff on top of it. Like when I drive, you know, sometimes I'll set my phone here on top of this cover, and then if I have water bottles, I'll move it back and throw my water bottles in it. These things have 4 little spikes that are spring loaded that center your water bottle, and they're massive. The diameter, I mean, it's square, so I shouldn't say diameter, but the overall dimensions of this pocket is larger than the new car. You have 4 spikes on each side. You can throw whatever size drink you want in there. I'm curious if this would pass the Zach Pradel big friggin' bottle test. Zach, if you're seeing this video, let me know if you reviewed one of these cars, and let me know if this car passed the big friggin' bottle test, because I think it might have a shot. Anyway, love the sliding cup holder hider, because when I'm commuting to work, I don't ever have a water bottle. You know, I got one in my bag for my day at work, but you know, I rarely drink when I'm in the car or drink fluids. So this stays closed, keeps everything clean. It looks really, really clean in the car without that. Center console, like I said, absolutely gigantic because you don't have that hump in the floor. And look how deep it is. It goes from here to here. So extremely deep. One of my favorite features too, center armrest. Absolutely massive, nice soft suede-ish feeling material, silver stitching, and you can slide it. Holy cow, you can slide it. That's amazing, right? Honda has allowed that in their design for as long as I remember for having cars. The CRV, our 2021 CRV, has a sliding center console, and I love it because when I'm driving, I like to slide it forward. You can still fit your water bottle under it because your depth of your water bottle is pretty deep without the hump in the floor, so it'll fit in here before it hits the top of this, but it allows me to put my elbow on there and hold the wheel. So very fatigue-free driving setup by putting my elbow there and getting a hand on the wheel and cruising along. Slide it back, you know, really, really nice. So like I said, 6 storage pockets besides the door pockets, a wider and deeper center console, and a I should say glove box. And the center console is deeper, wider, and longer. I can't go on enough about how crazy it is that this car has so much more storage. Now let me show you the new one just to show you how bad it is. So, smaller handle to grab to close the door. Door pocket, not nearly as deep, not as long. Looking to the left, this whole area is taken up by your brightness wheel to control your dash and your radial brightness. And down here you have your bubble button for your forward collision warning, and your lane keep assist, I believe, or emergency braking setup, and your traction control off button. So you don't have any cubbies on this side to store anything. So with not counting the door pockets, we're still at 0. We're climbing across here. I don't mind the dashboard layout with the screen on top there. I think it's a very good design. A lot of people don't like it sticking up like that, but I think it's more driver focused to not take your eyes off the road, and I really don't mind it sticking up. It looks good to me. Taking a look down though, there's nothing here. There's no sunglasses holder, and that's a huge gripe of mine in this car. There's nothing up here but your microphone for your Bluetooth. And you look down here. So this pocket is a lot longer. As you can see, my whole hand fits in here. But it is not nearly as deep as the other car, so you can't fit as much stuff, I don't think, in this one. You can fit your phone nicely in there and nest it in there. It's got this nice rubberized pad so your phone won't slide around. And that's really all you're probably going to use it for, because you have your wired Android Auto, Apple CarPlay connection here. So if you buy like a short 6-inch lightning cable for your iPhone or whatever, it'll set up nicely in there. So one storage cubby right there that's not as big as the other one. So right now it's 6-to-1. Let's keep looking. Nothing over there but your door pocket. So this car has one storage cubby compared to the 6 storage cubbies you get on that car. It's kind of unbelievable to me. But that's not where it stops. Come down to the cup holders. It's just cheaper, guys. There's no sliding cover. So I've never used, this car has like 200 miles on it. It's already grime and dust and stuff in there that I got to clean out. Of course, you don't have your mechanical e-brake, which kind of sucks in a manual car. And guys, I know I'm being critical, but let me know in the comments if you think I'm being too critical or if I'm making good points, because I really do think I'm making good points here for the practicality. The Honda Civic's always been supposed to be a practical car, and if you have bought a new one every couple years, they've probably slowly taken the practicality away from you and you haven't noticed. But when you go from owning a 2010 and driving that car for 8 years and jumping into a brand new car, it hits you hard. Like seeing your kid, being away from your kids, let's say for 10 years, and you see how fast they grew up. That's the opposite with this. That's how fast they can strip stuff away from you and not have you notice. But I notice these things because I haven't bought a new car in a very, very long time. This is actually my first new car I bought. And I know I'm being critical, like I said, but I bought this car because of the drivetrain, and this car will last a very, very long time. But that doesn't mean I can't complain about the interior the lack of interior, because every review online says how good this interior is. And it is pretty good, but like I said, one storage cubby compared to 6. Now let's look at the center console. Maybe it can redeem itself. Oh, it is pretty deep, I'll say. Probably just as deep as the 8th gen, but it's about half as wide here. This distance is probably half the 8th gen, which is kind of a letdown. And let's close the center. No sliding center armrest. That is just a cost-cutting method on their end. And with the stick, this isn't how it is with the CVT. The CVT has a shifter here and your cup holders alongside of it, so you don't lose this depth. With the stick car, they had to push the cup holders back for whatever reason, but this is kind of the same layout as the 8th gen. So the fact that they couldn't just close this, and you know why they couldn't close that, is because these aren't as deep. You can't put a water bottle in here because it sticks up higher than this surface. A regular 16-ounce water bottle sticks up higher than this arm pad surface. So I will give you a quick example. Putting my elbow here, I can reach the steering wheel, but my elbow is in this weird zone where it's dropping off the edge, and it's very hard and uncomfortable on my elbow. When you shift, your elbow constantly drops down in this area and feels very weird, like putting it in first gear. That's my natural first gear, and I have very long arms. I'm 6'3". That's just, you know, your elbow is dropped way down in this pocket. When you shift to second, then your elbow's back on the center armrest. It's just a very, very strange ergonomic choice on their end, and I really don't understand the design decisions they made. But let me know in the comments what you guys think, if I'm being too critical, or if you agree with me. Last but not least, let's hit the center console. Look at this thing. It is like inches. The other one came out to like here for width. It is like inches narrower, and the depth is almost comical. You can barely fit much in this center console. But wait, they gave you a nice damper to lower it. That's so nice. That makes up for everything. Not really, I'm being sarcastic. Pretty big letdown on the storage space in this car. Significantly less everywhere you look for the same features on that car. I'm gonna stop ranting about that. I could keep going, and if you guys made it this far in the video, let me know in the comments. But this stuff just gets me heated. The big thing about it is they hide it from you. They make you happy. All the reviewers are happy online, and it saves them money, because all those extra cubbies and those extra parts is extra money and components that they have to put into this car. They probably save themselves a bunch of money with all the, you know, this is just like 1 or 2 parts now for the center console. You have the stitching, and you have a couple screws, and this thing, it just feels really lightweight and cheap. Before, you had to have the whole rail assembly in here to allow it to slide, a bunch more parts. This car costs more, obviously, as time goes on and inflation hits, but you get less for your money nowadays than you used to. So sorry if it sounded like I was tearing this car apart. Keep in mind, I did buy it. It is going to be my new daily. But that doesn't mean I can't talk trash about it. I'll continue to be honest with you guys, my brutally honest thoughts on this car and this channel. But overall, I still do not regret the purchase. I wish Salt wasn't going to take my 8th gen, or I would continue driving this into the ground. But I'm also concerned in this day and era of how long Honda is going to make a naturally aspirated manual transmission fuel efficient car that you can just ram miles on. I don't think it's going to be around too much longer. Other manufacturers have already proved that they are on their way out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of video. Stay tuned for more. Please give the video a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot, guys. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought, and I'll see you in the next one.